Okay, good evening. This is Cristina Campbell. And tonight we're going to talk about back to school. I'm going to give you a few new little tips and tricks, and just maybe you'll learn something new tonight. I hope so. So back to school. This is for teachers, and there's a lot of parents that are homeschooling now. So I'm going to give you some survival essentials. Let's get started. First of all, most kiddos are going to have to wear masks in schools, even though they may get a little anxious about wearing masks in school, or it's bothersome. You can create an oil blend and roll it on the inside of your mask that will help your children during school hours if they must wear them to school. So this roll-on is a great recipe. It's 8 drops of frankincense, 8 drops of cedarwood, and 8 drops of peppermint. So what you're going to do is you're going to put this in a roller ball. And then you're going to add 4 drops of vetiver, 2 drops of sandalwood, 2 drops of patchouli, and fill the rest with sweet almond oil or V6 carrier oil. And I just want to state that Dr. Terry Friedman, and I mentioned this in last week's class, he was an MD who actually researched children with ADD and ADHD, and he did EEGs on their heads to find out, what kind of activity was going on when they were in that unfocused, inability to stay focused state, that ADD state. And what he found was that the delta waves and the beta waves were much higher than the alpha waves. And so if you think of meditation, this is the state of alpha. This is the alpha state, when we're totally not wound up, we're just totally relaxed. We're focused on one thing and one thing only, and that's usually our breath, or maybe a mantra, or whatever your practice includes in meditation. But you bring yourself into the alpha state, and in the alpha state you can actually reduce your heart rate, you can slow your breathing. It just calms the entire body. Well, those beta and delta waves keep you in a state of constant turmoil, really. And so he was trying different oils on these children to see what would bring up those alpha waves and what would bring down those beta and delta waves. And he found that cedarwood was number 1. And remember, cedarwood is very high in a constituent called sesquiterpenes. Sesquiterpenes have the ability to pass the blood-brain barrier and oxygenate the pineal gland. This is really important in creating melatonin in the brain naturally. It's important for sleep. It's important for anxiety. Cedarwood is really, really a great oil for the brain in general. He also found that vetiver was one of those oils, and you'll see that there are 4 drops of vetiver in this particular blend for the mask. So this is going to help that child too. Vetiver is very calming. In fact, I used to put vetiver straight with a roller ball and roll it up and down my youngest grandson's spine. And then I gave him his own bottle of vetiver that he carried in his pocket. And even as a teenager, he would carry it around because he was just so scattered. He's very scattered. Sandalwood and patchouli were not tested, but peace and calming was tested, and so was lavender, all showing a rise in alpha waves. So if you're looking to raise alpha waves, to raise that calmness, you want to look at those 4 different oils. Peppermint's going to give you mental clarity. And so that's another reason that peppermint is in this roll-on. Sandalwood is also, I think, about 50% sesquiterpenes, and frankincense is about 50% sesquiterpenes, but not as high as cedarwood. Cedarwood is 98% sesquiterpenes. But all of these oils in this blend are going to be very, very helpful, not only to protect your child, but to enhance cognitive behavior. And I think this is imperative in a school situation, especially with all the anxiety that's associated with having to wear masks, having to, stay 6 feet apart if they're actually physically going to school. But this is just a great roll-on. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. Don't forget, you can take your phone and you can take pictures of this, and and you'll have it on your phone. And also, this is being recorded, so you can go back and listen to the recording as many times as you want. And I've always offered my PowerPoint presentations to anyone who wants them. And then if you want to edit them or do whatever you want, that's totally up to you. I'm here to serve. And if I can serve you in any way, all you have to do is ask, right? Okay, so an interesting oily fact. In studies performed at Vienna and Berlin universities, researchers discovered that sesquiterpenes, and that's just what I was talking about, go figure, a natural compound found in essential oils of vetiver, patchouli, cedarwood, sandalwood, and frankincense, can increase levels of oxygen in the brain by up to 28%. Now, I didn't tell you what the percentage was because I was not aware of this study. I'm aware of other studies, and I know that there is an increase in brain activity. I also know that peppermint oil increased test scores overall by 19% amongst children tested, and they used, they had a double-blind study, and there were 50% of the children didn't inhale any oil, and 50% inhaled peppermint, and they had a 15% increase in test scores. So, if you're training your children, if you're wanting them to learn, if you're training yourself, if you're training animals, being able to increase their cognitive ability is important, and these oils will help that. Such an increase in brain oxygen may lead to heightened activity in the hypothalamus and the limbic system of the brain, which can have positive effects on not only emotions, but on learning, on attitude, and on much more. These oils may support healthy immune function as well. So you've got a double-edged sword here. You've got something that's going to help the brain, and it's also going to help the memory as it's oxygenating the brain more. We need more oxygen in the brain. But you're also getting immune system function, better immune system function. It'll also help with hormone balance and energy levels. These oils are very, very powerful. So make sure you're getting those oils down. So specifically for focus, I'm laughing because I got a couple of little stories I can tell you about nitro. And unfortunately, it was out of stock. And then Wednesday, what's new Wednesday, nitro came back in, and I bought the maximum amount because I'm going to tell you, I think I could only buy 3 boxes, which that should last me a day or two. I'm just teasing. But I'll tell you, there is nothing to give you focus like nitro. And I'm actually on the master cleanse right now. I'm on day 9 of my second cleanse in 2 months. Tomorrow will be my last day. And I'm looking forward to getting back to my Ningxia Red and my nitro, because during the mono diet master cleanse, you don't do any supplements. You don't do any Ningxia Red. No other juice other than the lemonade. So I'm looking forward to nitro because it gives me focus and it gives me energy. So try taking 1 ounce of Ningxia Red, and I do this all the time. I do 1 ounce of Ningxia Red. Well, actually, I'll do 2 ounces of Ningxia Red. You can do a nitro. I'll do a half a can of Zing, and then I top it off with pineapple juice. And that's my like mid-afternoon. I'm feeling sluggish and I don't really want to work anymore. And so I take this mocktail and it gets me going again. So you can just, mix it up how you want. If you only want to put 1 ounce of Ningxia Red and 1 nitro and 1 can of Zing. And if you want to top it off with juice, that's up to you. So don't feel like you're stuck to any of these recipes. You can be creative with them. But I got a couple of stories to tell you about this. First of all, Kenneth is the driver when it comes to our fifth wheel. We have a 40-foot fifth wheel, and it's a big rig, and he gets fatigued after a few hours on the road. So we always have nitro in the cup holders waiting for him to say, I need a nitro. And I will peel it for him and hand it to him, and he sucks it down. A lot of times he'll drink 2 because he just wants to be very focused and cognizant of what's going on around him. I mean, you're pulling a fifth wheel. Another story, and so just saying that when you're road tripping, if you're road tripping at all and you're feeling fatigued, get yourself a nitro. Always have a box of nitro somewhere in your stuff, because this is really going to keep you focused. It's going to keep you alert. It's going to give you energy without a caffeine buzz. So the second story is I have a girlfriend who, for quite a while, her hobby was renovating old motor, like little trailers, right? Like little trailers, like the retro trailers, the 50s, 60s trailers, and she would redo the whole inside. She'd, refinish the cabinets. Usually the cabinetry was all real wood and tile on the floors and all of this stuff, and really beautiful colors like the turquoise back then, and reds, and just really fun trailers. And so in doing this, she found that if she would do nitro, she could just keep on doing what she loved to do. There was one day that she told me that she did up to a whole box of nitro, which is 14 nitros. I mean, the girl wasn't going to quit. She was working into the wee hours of the morning. And again, it's not going to give you that caffeine buzz, but it will keep you focused and it will give you the energy that you need. And then when she was ready to quit, she was ready to go to bed. But I just laughed because that's a lot of nitro. And she didn't usually take that many in a day, but she would take like 3 because she would work 14 hours. She wasn't going to quit. That's Carrie out of Missouri. But anyway, that I had to share those 2 stories. I thought they were pretty good. Okay, so teachers, keeping it clean. Your workspace or your classroom has never been cleaner with the Power of Thieves household cleaner. Formulated with the Power of Young Living Thieves essential oil blend, Thieves household cleaner is a concentrated, versatile solution that gives you a deep clean when scrubbing, degreasing, spot cleaning, dusting, and more, all without harsh chemicals. And it's great to use around everyone in your family, including pets. So think about creating a clean, welcoming space that's perfect for everyone with a fresh, inviting scent and sparkling clean of Thieves household cleaner. Okay, of course I have another story. So Kenneth and I are big believers in chiropractic, and we go twice a week. And our chiropractor is a Young Living distributor. In fact, she's in my organization. That's why I go to her. And, they've gotten very fastidious about wiping down their tables after every client or patient or whatever you want to call them. And honestly, they should have been that fastidious about it before COVID, right? But it's great to go in there, and she gets done with the client and she goes in with her thieves spray bottle, and she's spraying down where I'm going to be laying with thieves. And then I just bring my little paper fast, my tissue that I put on there, put my nose in, and it's all clean. It smells great. So, it isn't just good for the classroom. It's good for any room. You can mix 1 capful of thieves cleaner with about 2 cups of water in a 16-ounce spray bottle, and you're good to go. Another thing that I taught in the last couple of weeks is that teachers back in the day would take a sponge, a wet sponge, and put 1 or 2 drops of peppermint or 1 or 2 drops of lemon, and they would wipe down the desks that way. Lemon has been proven in a very small amount diffused to actually kill typhus. So it is extremely powerful in killing some of these bacteria that can be deadly. And peppermint is going to keep your kids very alert and stimulated. If you want them to take a nap, don't put peppermint on their desks. If you want to have nap time, maybe pass a cotton ball or give everybody a cotton ball with a drop of lavender on it. And they can smell that, or peace and calming. I prefer lavender for resting. Peace and calming for me, and everybody's body chemistry is different, right? Peace and calming for me won't keep me asleep, but it will keep me calm during the day. So I actually prefer to use peace and calming in the daytime. And before Stress Away, peace and calming was kind of my road rage oil, but now I have Stress Away. So just a couple of tips. Okay, so we also can make some DIY wipes so that you can keep it clean. Reuse an existing wipes container or a coffee can, or you can get a Rubbermaid, a 2-quart Rubbermaid container. It fits half of a roll of paper towel perfectly. And it says a large roll of premium brand paper towels. I prefer the recycled, if you can get recycled organic paper towels, those are the ones I prefer for this. And for baby wipes, or for anything that you're wanting to wipe up, but for baby wipes, I just don't prefer the bleached paper towels. We don't need the additional chlorine in our environment, right? So you're going to use 1.5 cups of warm water, and you're going to take this large roll of paper towel, and you're going to cut it in half with a serrated knife. You're just going to cut it right down through the tube. And then you're going to put that in your coffee can. I wouldn't use a coffee can. I like those Rubbermaid containers. They're perfect for it. They have a red top, and they seal very well. And so you put that paper towel roll in there, that half a paper towel. You can put the water, when you put the water in a measure cup, in a glass measuring cup, this would be a good opportunity to maybe put a tablespoon of kids shampoo, or a tablespoon of regular shampoo, or a tablespoon of bath gel. And this is going to give it some kind of soapy, cleaning, more cleaning. Or you can put 2 capfuls of Thieves household cleaner in it. If you're just going to use it for surfaces, Thieves household cleaner is great. If you can use it for counters or whatever. But if you're going to use it on your kiddos, then I would put a capful or a tablespoon of the Kids Sense shampoo or bath gel, and then I would put additional drops of essential oil in there, like lavender or peas and calming, anything that you choose, maybe energy, depending on what kind of response you're looking for, right? In this one for cleaning surfaces, you can add an additional 3 drops of thieves essential oil and 3 drops each of eucalyptus and lemon essential oil, because that's just going to bump up the ability of that cleaner to kill more viruses and bacteria. And that's what we're looking for. So once you pour that water over with the essential oils and the household cleaner, and like I said, I put it all in the glass measuring jar, and then I pour it over, let it set at least for 5 minutes, and then pull out the cardboard insert, because it will be wet and damp and easy to pull out. And then you're going to take those wipes from the center of that paper towel roll, and you can start pulling them out there. So there you have it. So now you have DIY wipes that you can make either for your own use, like if you're road tripping and you're eating in the car, you might need some wipes. You don't want to get chemical wipes. It's nice to have a container of wipes, or if you have kids in the back seat and maybe they're eating snacks, having some nice kids wipes. So here's a couple of different suggestions for that. Okay, in the classroom, roll-ons and diffuser recipes. Try these when plans change and you need to think outside of the box. So let's look at these. This is inspiring creativity. If you're trying to inspire creativity, or not trying, but you are inspiring creativity, here's a great roll-on. 4 drops of tangerine, 3 drops of juniper, 2 drops of bergamot, 2 drops of ylang-ylang, and then fill the rest with carrier oil. You can create this blend and roll it on to inspire and tap into your creative side. Now, this can be used for the kids and for teachers. You could easily add these oils to a diffuser in the classroom to help creativity to flow freely. Let me explain a couple of things about some of these oils, just to give you a little bit more detail. Any of the citrus oils like tangerine, remember that they are photosensitive. So if you're going to roll it on their body or their face or anywhere that's exposed to the sun and they go out for recess, you could have a reaction, because there's 4 drops of tangerine and there's 2 drops of bergamot. And bergamot is also a citrus oil and is also photosensitive. The other oils in this blend are not photosensitive. Let me give you a little bit more information about bergamot and tangerine, in that they are great for lifting the emotions. So anytime you feel a little in the dumps or the kids are just not motivated, the reason we're using these citrus oils is because they are uplifting. They will uplift and help the brain. So when I teach, what oils to use during depression, I always point out that the citrus oils are number 1. Orange oil. Orange oil is good. All of the citrus oils are good, and even clove for that particular thing. So joy oil is really the number 1 blend for depression. So that's the 2 citrus oils that are in this roll-on. Now juniper is an interesting oil because, number 1, juniper supports the kidneys. Juniper supports the kidneys. Other things that juniper does, and I'm looking at it in the EODR right now for you. Juniper increases circulation through the kidneys and promotes the excretion of toxins, and it promotes nerve regeneration. So juniper is really good for nerve degeneration. It evokes feelings of love and health and peace, and it may even help to elevate one's spiritual awareness. That's juniper. I love juniper. Ylang-ylang is really great for balancing the male and female hormones in the body. The male and female energies. That's the word I wanted to use, not hormones. Energies in the body. Ylang-ylang has also been very, very effective in balancing blood pressure. So if you have low blood pressure, because ylang-ylang is an adaptogen means that our bodies adapt to it for what we need, or it adapts to our body for what we need. So if you have low blood pressure, it'll bring it up to balance or normal. If you have high blood pressure, it will bring it down to balance or normal. So ylang-ylang is very, very balancing. So what a great roll-on, and what a great way to learn about each oil in this roll-on. So let's go on. Okay.
I want to interrupt real quick. I do have to say, equine and what you just said about the whole joy and the citrus and everything is on. We have a mayor in Waldron, Arkansas that we're dealing with some depression over. Just, it's a hormonal biofeedback crazy. It's really cool, but I just want to let you know that it's very intriguing to get to watch them that way too. So yes, joy was fun to watch the horse release on, is what I was trying to get to.
Oh wow. So what kind of release did the horse have, Ashley?
They call it flannel. They'll raise their nose way up in the air and they'll roll their lip ahead so that they can really smell and get that good deep, and it goes straight up into that sensory. This is where my words still aren't exactly where they need to be, but there's a sensory up there, and you can just watch, it's like it's just a nice, pretty, soft release when they do it. It's just a big, deep, like, sigh of relief. Just a happy release.
Oh, that is so nice to hear. So if it works, and horses are very, very sensitive, so they do respond very readily to the oils. So if these large animals that are going to weigh 4 times more than we do, or 5 times more than we do, can have that kind of effect, just think at how this is going to affect your children so positively. Thank you so much for sharing that, Ashley. I really appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
So, back migraine. I have to laugh at this because I've been talking to a lot of moms that right now are, they don't know which way to turn with this homeschooling. And it's frustrating and kind of exciting and challenging at the same time. And, math is one of those subjects that unless you have this special child that says, oh, I can't get enough of it, they're all going to end up with, oh, Mom, I think I have a math migraine. So here's a roll-on for that. And that roll-on is 8 drops of clarity. Now, one of the reasons I really like clarity is because it does really, really work on the brain as far as what it's got in it. It's got peppermint. And remember that peppermint is good for mental clarity, but it also has basil in it. And basil stimulates the mind too. But basil does more than stimulate the mind. It also is an antispasmodic. So when you feel that tension coming on, like possibly with a migraine, the basil will help with mental fatigue. So it will relax that mental fatigue. It also clarity has cardamom in it. And cardamom is very uplifting, and it's refreshing, and it's also invigorating. So it's going to kind of wake them up from this mental migraine. And it may not be that they actually have a migraine. It might be that they're just fatigued. They're tired of this math stuff. And so they need something that's going to bump them up a little bit. Also, cardamom is beneficial for clearing confusion. And math can be very confusing. So I think this is great. It has rosemary in it. And rosemary also stimulates the memory. It overcomes mental fatigue. I only have one caution with rosemary. And I do have a habit of sharing this caution, even though it's not specific in the essential oils desk reference. But the caution is, if your child tends to seizures, I do not recommend rosemary. And the reason is because it stimulates the mind to where it can put it in a very, just like an aura seizure state. It might be very light, but it can happen. And so just be aware that rosemary, it boosts alertness, it eases anxiety, and it amplifies analytic and mental abilities. So when you're doing math, you need all the help you can get. It also has coriander in it. We're still talking about clarity. This is why I love clarity so much. It is, it supports a healthy immune system. It relieves feelings of nausea, and it has been, it aids in digestion. Coriander is just a great oil. It's got geranium in it, which is uplifting, and it's a relaxant. It has bergamot. We already learned that bergamot, any citrus oils, is very uplifting and calming and helps to relieve anxiety, stress, and tension. And it has lemon in it, which is stimulating and invigorating to the body. And it has antidepressant effects. That's all of the citrus oils do. In fact, there are over 50 studies that have shown the antidepressive properties of lemon oil. So you can look on PubMed.org on lemon and depression, and there are over 50 studies. So it is pretty amazing. It's also, clarity's got ylang-ylang in it. And we know that this, it restores equilibrium. That's another, it's all about balance with ylang-ylang. It's all about balance. It has jasmine in it, which stimulates the mind and improves concentration. And it has Roman chamomile. Roman chamomile is the perfect oil. And I'll tell you, my daughter, my youngest daughter, and myself are both type A personalities. I slowed down quite a bit in my old age, but we used to get really wrapped around the axle about things. And her favorite Christmas present, I would put in a stocking stuffer because she's always been a computer geek, was a spray bottle. It was this size. Let me get it out. Oh, I thought I had it in my purse. Well, I must have taken it out. It's about a 4-ounce bottle. About a 4-ounce bottle. And I would put about 15 drops of chamomile, Roman chamomile in there, and then fill it with water. And she would put it at her desk. She worked for AT&T for 15 years, and now she works for Wells Fargo. But she would keep it by her desk, and she would spritz herself with it. Because when she just got overwhelmed with work, and it was just tedious, and that's what math can be for children, tedious. It can be tedious and overwhelming. It would just relax her. And to this day, Roman chamomile is one of our favorites if we just get, again, wrapped around the axle. It clears mental blocks, and it just like opens up the way to begin to think again. And it also, clarity also has palmarosa, which is stimulating and revitalizing to both the nervous system and the cardiovascular system. So you're going to pair that That's 8 drops of clarity, and you're going to pair it with 4 drops of peppermint and 4 drops of lavender, and then fill the rest with a carrier oil. So this is going to really help them to just get cool, refocus their brain. This blend is perfect for relaxing the mind. Roll it on the temples, roll it on the back of the neck for a soothing experience, and hopefully the schools are becoming more and more open to children carrying these roll-ons in their book bags. And moms and dads, please teach your children why and when they need these. And if they're studying at school, have them take a roll-on break, take an oil break, and just sit with that oil for 5 or 10 minutes and breathe it in or diffuse it at their desk. This will really work well. You can diffuse this one as well. Here's a clean air diffuser balm, and this will just kind of purify the air. And I see that it has Palo Santo wood. Oh my gosh. We were able to see the Palo Santo, not forest, but the area where Mary and Gary and the boys, when they were little, used to have church. It was a grove. That's what it is. It's the Palo Santo Grove in Ecuador. And there's a lot of this Palo Santo wood around, and it smells so divine. So you're going to use 1 bottle of purification, 1 bottle of citrus fresh, and 1 bottle of Palo Santo. You're going to put that in a 2-ounce glass dropper bottle. You're going to add the entire bottles to that dropper bottle, and then you're going to take that glass dropper and you're going to add 2 to 3 drops of the mix to a diffuser, depending on the size of the classroom. And then you'll have fresh air all year round. This would really be great in a locker room as well, or anywhere that's close and you just need some freshness. This would be a great blend. And all of these oils put together in a 2-ounce bottle are going to last you quite a long time. So I believe in using anywhere from 10 to 20 drops of oil in my diffuser, especially at night. So 2 to 3 drops may not do it. My bedroom is not that big. It's probably, well, maybe 15 by 15. But I don't think 2 or 3 drops will do it. I think you need a little bit more than that. So find out what works for you and stick with that. Here's test time. Remember, I said peppermint oil increased test scores by 19%. And that was a study done by Dr. William Dember. This is a diffuser balm, and you're going to use 1 bottle of rosemary, 1 bottle of peppermint, and 1 bottle of eucalyptus. And you're going to put that in a 2-ounce dropper bottle. And if you don't know what size these are, if you're going to use the 5 mils, use all 3 5 mils. If you're going to use the 15 mils, use all 3 15 mils. So don't mix up 1 15 and 1 5. And that it should all fit in a 2-ounce dropper bottle. So you're going to add the entire bottles to the dropper bottle, and then you're going to add however many drops of the mix to a diffuser, depending on the side of the classroom. And it's perfect for focused times of the school day. So this is test time. Good test oils. Now you want to calm down the classroom. You know, maybe they were out for recess and they come in and they're all rambunctious. So here's a great diffuser balm that you might want to use in the second half of the day, or, you know, at the end of the day. Excitement runs high as class sessions begin in the morning. So you might want to diffuse this in the morning for everyone to get settled in for the day. And this too, you're going to add the entire bottle to a oil dropper bottle. and you're going to add 1 bottle of Peace and Calming, 1 bottle of lavender, and 1 bottle of vetiver. Remember, vetiver and lavender and Peace and Calming, all 3 of these are going to raise that alpha. So they're going to be able to stay focused. It's not going to put them to sleep. They're going to be calm, but they're going to be focused. And that is a perfect place for a student to be. And you're going to put that in a 2-ounce glass dropper bottle. All right. What about teacher appreciation? Here are some pre-made rollers that you can get from Young Living that are a perfect gift for the teachers in your life. If you're looking for a gift, we have Tranquil, we have Deep Relief, we have Thieves, Breathe Again, Rutavala, and Stress Away is in a roller ball now as well. We also have Valor in that size, at least we did. I don't know if we still do, but I'm pretty sure we have Valor in that size roller too. And they come in such nice boxes, and they just really are nice gifts. Around the holidays, if you're thinking about a gift for a teacher, this would be a great gift. All right, guys, here is some dropper labels. If you're interested in these, you can, I'll post this on the Diamond Miners Facebook page, and you can download these rollerball labels. And that is a wrap. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to stop the recording.